Bryan, you're the guy who's the golfer of this group. You've been around golf your entire life. What do you think of this LIV tour?
You know what? I kind of like it.
I'm 100% on board with
I
this.
kind of, you know what? Let's mix it up a little bit. But watching, I love the PGA Tour, but it's what we watch. There's never really been a competitor in terms of like head to head kind of thing, like a WCW versus WWF. Going
The
back, dating
U.S.
myself.
Open once a year is the one competitor the PGA has traditionally had.
Yeah, or I mean, people would argue like the Nike Tour, like that's not televised or anything.
That's not anything.
It's like minor league kind of thing, but they're still
not
great
an
golfers.
argument.
But yeah, the live. So you have live. I always I compare it to WCW and WWF a lot because I'm like, okay, whenever I was a kid, I was like WWF all the way. I'd watch, my favorite wrestlers were there, but I'd always tune into WCW if Ric Flair was wrestling. So I wanted to see him do stuff. And that was the only reason why I'd ever tune into WCW. And you got Greg Norman, shelling out all kinds of cash, getting these major league names, getting these marquee names, going over there. And you know what? They're liking it because they're getting paid. They're getting paid like major league. And the latest guy came today. I forget who it was. He was the captain of the no longer the captain of
the European Ryder Cup team.
Yeah.
So like the continent that cares about the Ryder Cup.
He straight up said, like, he said it nicely. He goes, "Oh, I did this for commercial reasons," meaning I did this for money. Yes, I want to get paid. Like, dude, yeah, totally. So I kind of like it. I mean, I don't really give any credit to, or I kind of dismiss like the purists. I should say the purists. Like, oh, come on. I mean, I don't know how I feel about they're doing the thing where you're banned from the PGA Tour. That's got to be lifted. They're just seems like they're acting emotionally. I don't like it.
Well, here's the thing. How often do you find yourself rooting for FIFA, the NCAA, and the International Olympic Committee? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, PGA is the fourth head on the Mount Rushmore of just self-serving, probably seriously corrupt in entities.
I don't think I've ever felt that way about that. Maybe you have. Maybe you research this more than like because you're a bigger sports fan than I am. But
here's the thing: how often you've been like, "Oh, I just love the International Olympic Committee. I don't see how we could ever have games between nations that don't involve those people."
I never talked like that, nor have I said that sentence.
Never thought that. You've never thought that. So the fact that we're sitting here getting this righteous, like, oh, well, we're the ones who've always just had golf integrity and it's like, okay, well then how come Phil Mickelson is saying you guys are a goddamn pain in the ass to deal with when it comes to his name image likeness? How come you have all these players that should be playing in the NFL, except you don't let them, that you're cashing checks because they play for Alabama and they can't get a single dime off of this. In fact, you're going to try and get them jailed if they get a car from some booster or whatever. It's just like that. I understand that rules are rules and things of that nature. No. But the righteous indignation from a bunch of just yahoos is
dismissive. Yeah,
insulting.
I dismiss it.
It's insulting.
Mm-hmm. I always get freaked out like whenever you have like a senior like playing for KU maybe, or if there was like a senior like in football. And I'm just like, okay, they played their whole life. They're 21, 22 now. They're really young. They're just one snapped ankle away from it all going away. And I'm freaking out the whole time. Exactly. Like, I just can't wait. Please get to the professional league as fast as you can and make your money because you've been playing this for as long as you possibly, I mean, there's elite level athletes and I don't know personally, but I do know that requires an extreme amount of commitment and work and effort, and you want to get paid for that. And it can be taken away at a moment's notice in college if they're not careful. So,
I mean, none of this is any different than if you're some sort of software product engineer and you develop something, and whatever organization tries to keep your name off the patent so you can't get royalties or something. It's really no different. So, Chris, let's just say you invent a new way to kill rats 10 times faster than they currently do.
Cool.
This is in the realm of possibility. I mean, let's be clear about this. This is in the realm of possibility.
Cheese by chance?
This is in the realm of possibility. So everybody is interested in what you have, but your company's just like, well, we're going to give you a 1% raise. You'd be pissed.
Oh yeah. I'm going to go to my competitor, make a poison that kills the
exactly.
rats 100 times faster now.
And you're going to go to a competitor and it may or may not be better. And that's it. So that's all of us defining what we think happiness is. And, organizations make decisions all the time that they decide that they'd rather keep a point of market share or a point of bottom line because it's easier to tell the guy working for him you get a 3% raise instead of 6 than telling somebody that's on the investor call like, oh, well, we sold $100,000 less than we thought we were going to. So, your dividend's only going to be $1.28 instead of $1.29 per share.
Have either one of you ever been in a position where like the person you're hiring or interviewing somebody where if you kept their number below a certain level, you get a bonus, or like, look, we were budgeting $100,000, but we got him for 72. I'm like, whoa, really? He just took the first offer. Like,
I have not, but I have no doubt in my mind that happens.
Right. That's what I wonder if how often that happens. Like, who is that a role in HR? Whoever makes the hiring decision, whoever makes the negotiation. I think that's called procurement, right? That's their thing, is hammering down price. Yeah, I always wonder, like, the person who I'm negotiating with, like, I don't know what their range is. They didn't tell me or they usually do tell me the range, but if they don't, I'm like, okay, shot in the dark. I want $285,000. Well, the CEO thinks less than that, so that's not going to work.
So, yeah. Well, here's
my starting point.
Here's the thing: the higher you get into a company, the more your compensation is based on how profitable a company is. So whether that's explicitly said or not, it's inherently there.
Yeah. All right. So the more cost you cut, or the revenue you generate, or profit revenue you generate. Yeah.
Exactly.
I always wonder about that.